Thanks to Wizards of the Coast for sponsoring this video. Find your element at the upcoming Avatar: The Last Airbender Commander Party. Visit your local game store between December 5th and 11th and January 9th to 15th to take part in the events and receive the Commander Play promo card Gran while supplies last. Here's how it works. When you arrive at the event, your pod will receive this play aid. Put it in the middle of the table, and at the beginning of the starting player's third turn, each player will put their marker on the section closest to them. Once you meet the conditions for an element, you'll then work clockwise to master all four and finally enter the Avatar state. Let's say you start on airbending. To master this element, at the beginning of your second main phase, you'll need to airbend or exile up to 2 non-land permanents you control and cast any spell from exile this turn. Once you've done so, you master the element and exile 2 more cards from the top of your library that can be played until the end of your next turn. Up next, waterbending. At the beginning of your second main phase, you may waterbend 5, which means you can tap your artifacts and creatures to pay for the cost of a spell. If you do, you master the element and may then cast a spell with mana value 3 or less from your hand without paying its mana cost. On to earthbending. At the start of combat on your turn, you may earthbend 2, so pick a land to become a 0/0 creature with haste and put 2 +1/+1 counters on it. Then, at the beginning of your second main phase, if you have attacked with a creature with 3 power or greater this turn, you master earthbending, and when you do, you get 3 more +1/+1 counters to put on a creature you control. Firebending is up next, and at the beginning of combat on your turn, a creature you control will gain Firebending 2 and an activated ability to increase its power for 1 mana. When that creature attacks, it adds 2 red mana to your mana pool that lasts until the end of combat. To master the element, you need to spend 4 or more mana during your combat phase this turn, so pump those creatures up. Once you master Firebending, you may discard your hand and draw that many cards. Now that you've mastered all the elements, it's time to enter the Avatar state. But you need to fulfill the conditions of whichever element you started on one last time. Whenever you master an element you've already mastered, you enter the Avatar state instead. As you enter the Avatar state, add Wooburg to your mana pool, gain 4 life, draw 4 cards, and put 4 +1/+1 counters on a creature you control. That creature then deals 4 damage to each opponent. You can continue to use and move through the bending abilities, but you can only enter the Avatar state once per person. Use the Avatar state to your advantage, bend the elements, and master the game. Click my link to use the store locator to find events in your area.